Welcome to this very special explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you with us today because we're about to embark on an incredible journey. Seriously, this is a deep dive that takes us all the way from our everyday individual selves right into the heart of universal consciousness. We are going to be exploring a concept that has the literal power to completely reframe how you experience every single day of your life. What we're looking at today is part of the official SADGUN Sadhana series. This is a truly beautiful and profound initiative presented by the Hridaya and Environment Research Foundation. Their core mission here is to elevate human life, connecting us from the self to the universe by integrating these essential core virtues into our daily routines. It's all about taking these timeless, amazing qualities and making them a lived reality to help create a better, more compassionate world. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our highly structured roadmap for today. First, an introduction to SADGUN Sadhana. Second, the true meaning of freedom. Third, wisdom from scriptures. Fourth, what freedom gives and doesn't. Fifth, the 7 pillars and life compass. And finally, number 6, daily practice and reflection. Section 1, Introduction to SADGUN Sadhana. We are kicking things off by looking at a virtue that is the absolute foundation of a meaningful life. This whole initiative is a deeply dedicated effort, meticulously crafted by Atul Sonawani and team. And their ultimate goal is so inspiring. It's to help us transform our inner world, and by doing so, connect our newly transformed selves to the greater good of humanity and nature. It's a small effort with massive world-changing implications. Section 2, the true meaning of freedom. So let me just ask you this. When you hear the word freedom, what actually pops into your head? Because for a lot of us living in the modern world, we kind of assume it just means doing whatever we want, whenever we want. But is that actually true freedom? Well, ancient wisdom gives us a completely different and honestly a much more empowering perspective. According to the texts we're exploring, true freedom, or Svatantrata, is absolutely not a license for chaos or just doing whatever you feel like in the moment. Instead, it is the profound power of conscious choice and serious self-control. You see, true freedom really happens when we stop being slaves to our own minds and desires and start actively living according to our highest, most deeply held values. And this right here is the absolute crucial pivot. Freedom is only meaningful with responsibility. If you have all the freedom in the world but zero discipline, it actually becomes destructive, right? It just leads to chaos. But when you couple your freedom with a strong sense of responsibility, it transforms into this incredible art of living. Section 3, Wisdom from Scriptures. To really wrap our heads around this, let's look at how ancient Indian texts defined this ultimate liberation centuries ago. This quote brilliantly illustrates that point. In the Bhagavad Gita, verse 271, it tells us that giving up all desires and moving free from attachment, ego, and that constant thirst for enjoyment is what brings true peace. It basically shows us that letting go of our own ego and arrogance is literally the very first real step toward true independence. We see this exact same thread in the Yoga Sutras, which defines yoga as controlling the restlessness of the mind. Mastering the mind is the ultimate form of freedom. It also ties beautifully into the Katha Upanishad's famous call to awake, arise, and attain the highest. We're breaking the chains of ignorance through spiritual awakening. Section 4, What freedom gives and doesn't. Okay, so how do we know if we're actually experiencing this true freedom in our daily lives? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it paints. Look at the empowering gifts of true freedom on one side: creativity, discipline, real joy, and a sense of purpose. Compare that against the toxic illusions of false freedom on the other side. True freedom does not give you a license to harm people. It doesn't give you chaos, selfishness, or a giant ego. If your freedom is hurting others, it's not actually freedom at all. Section 5, the 7 pillars and life compass. So, to help us build a liberated life, the source material gives us these incredible structural frameworks. Let's take a look. Here we have the 7 pillars of freedom: thought, expression, action, choice, the freedom to learn, belief, and of course, love. When we practice these 7 elements, not with reckless abandon, but with genuine wisdom and compassion, they literally build the foundation of a truly liberated person. And to navigate those pillars, we have the life compass. Think of this as your internal GPS for living well. North points to truth, east points to your duty, south is self-control, and west is wisdom. The idea is that when these four things align, truth, duty, self-control, and wisdom, your life becomes both incredibly free and profoundly meaningful. Section 6, Daily Practice and Reflection. So the big question, how do we actually start doing this today? Freedom isn't a destination. It's a daily habit. Here are 5 sequential steps to get you there. 1. Meditate daily to quiet that restless mind. 2. Write and reflect on your thoughts. 3. Clarify your goals so you know where you're heading. 4. Act with discipline. Remember, freedom requires responsibility. And 5. Actively practice love and kindness every single day. I want to pause here and just ask you directly, am I truly free in my thoughts, or am I a slave to my own mind? Take a second to really assess that. Are your decisions driven by fear, anger, or greed? Breaking those internal chains of negative emotion is where real freedom actually begins. Because at the end of the day, as this text says, freedom is the lamp that removes inner darkness. You can have every external liberty in the world, but if you're chained by your own ego, you are still in the dark. The one who is master of the self is the one who is truly, undeniably free. And that brings us to the end of our explainer. I want to say a massive thank you to Atul Sonawane and team, as well as the Hridaya and Environment Research Foundation, for putting together the SADGUN Sadhana initiative and giving us this amazing framework. Keep reflecting on those internal chains you can break today. And to conclude, I'll leave you with the Foundation's beautiful sign-off, where they say, आप सभी का धन्यवाद, मिलते हैं पुनः सद्गुण साधना में एक नए सद्गुण के साथ, सद्गुण जो जीवन को श्रेष्ठ बनाए.